This is Jeff Goldblum, luminary of the time. When I'm spending my free time in my Malibu beachfront property, I listen to the Stuff podcast and
Is Jeff Goldblum having a stroke?
I think Jeff Goldblum's not
Somebody
too
better
chicken.
check
Wow.
on Jeff Goldblum, dude.
That's incredible. That didn't even sound like just Jeff Goldblum.
We should definitely do a dry. Like we should play that before. Make sure it sounds good.
Well, I can't. You know, if Jeff wants to do something live on our show, he's got to do it. You know, the way he wants to do it. I can't tell him how to do it.
Oh, I
True.
suppose you're
Very
right. We
When I'm spending my free time in my Malibu beachfront property, I listen to the But Stuff podcast. And
wow, Jeff listens to butt
Oh.
stuff.
When he's hanging out his Malibu beachfront
I like-
property.
I like to picture that, like, all right, it's late night. They're just getting back from like surfing local hotspot, right?
Mhm.
Jeff and his date. We don't know who it is. Could be a man, could be a woman. We don't know. All right, and he brings them back.
It's true.
He's just like, hey, have you heard of butt stuff?
She's like,
And then-
no,
Hi.
There,
I
they
don't-
are.
Jeff, I don't do butt stuff. And he's like, have you tried this butt
No,
stuff?
it's a podcast.
No, it's this new podcast. And ooh, man, wow, does that feel good? that podcast.
They know exactly what's going on in the streets.
I listened to it and oh boy.
Is
that your
Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I think
But
I listen and I think, well, ooh, what's going on there?
I gotta say that's probably the best Jeff Goldblum that either three of us could do.
And I immediately tried to think of what Jeff Goldblum would sound like,
I can't.
and all I thought of was like life.
Finds a way.
We finds a way.
Virus, computer virus.
If the aliens are cold.
I'm burning for Goldblum right now. To be
I am
honest,
too. And I'd like to welcome everybody in the audience to the Butt Stuff Podcast. It is Sunday afternoon because this is your premier Sunday morning podcast. Noon today, and we're burning for you, baby.
We burning.
we got a good buzz going, except for DJ,
Yes. We,
I'm riding high on life, guys.
like a
I,
good Christian boy.
That's right.
we did go to the Oscar Shorts, and Ed and I did put down a few beers.
So imagine this, listeners. All right, imagine this. You're going to the fucking movies with your boys, right? You're about to watch several Oscar short films, and you want nothing more than to enjoy a nice, cold, delicious alcoholic beverage. All right, so you're lucky enough that you live in the area of Delaware Avenue in Albany, and you can walk down to the Spectrum Theater, and you can buy a ticket, and you can go next to Delaware Supply, and you can scoop up 12, count them, 12 Jesse specialty cream ales for the low price of $10. And you're
What a
thinking,
deal.
and you're thinking, geez, Ed, your friends will love you when you show up with 12 Genesee specialty cream ales.
Watching you buy the ticket was, oh my god, that was gold.
I dropped a beer out of my back pocket
That
as
was-
I was walking to the ticket counter. I picked up the beer, and I persevered. And I went to the ticket counter and said, "One ticket for Oscar Shorts, please. 12:45 p.m." And he said, "Yes, sir." And I said, "What's the runtime on that today, sir?" And he said, "Approximately 2 hours and 30 minutes." And I said, "Fantastic, I am ready." And I dropped another beer as I walked towards DJ and Jim, who had already purchased tickets. We walked in there, and I dropped another beer. And then we get in there, and we enjoyed, what is it, 5, 6? 5 Oscar short films. One of them was really a music video that was very poorly directed. But we'll get to that later, folks.
Coming up later on the Butt Stuff Podcast. Right now,
Stay
we
tuned.
have
So guys, I want to bring up.
it's Blue Oyster Cold.
It is. It's Blue Oyster Cult. Boys, I saw Blue Oyster Cult on Friday.
Did you
What?
really?
Did you really?
Yeah, I saw them.
Are they alive?
Dude, I saw them at the Egg.
Were you fearing the Reaper?
Okay, so I want to talk about Don't Fear the Reaper because, of course, it was the last song that they played in the set before.
Yeah, because
the
everybody
encore.
leaves after "Don't Fear the Reaper."
That's
if
pretty
they
much
played
the
that
song.
first song, I'm out.
That's the song
Saw
that
it.
everybody wants to hear. So they played Don't Fear the Reaper. And I want to tell you guys and the whole Butt Stuff audience that they did not play a cowbell during this song.
There was no
Really?
cowbell?
No.
Dude, they should have
Wow.
played up the cowbell a lot. Like, honestly, if they had a cowbell solo, they probably would have got a standing O. Did they get a standing O, Jim?
The only thing that they, well, a standing O,
Did people stand when they stopped playing?
yes. At
Wow.
like, because it was the last song. But I gotta say, dude, I just gotta say for the audience, and you guys, it was a big letdown. The only thing I got,
Did you see Dave Wales there?
the only thing I got for the whole thing was just the guy doing this in the beginning of the song.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Is that Chris Walken?
That was
No,
it.
that's Bryan Cranston. Actually, Walter White stars.
That doesn't make any sense. If it
That-
was,
that,
if
that
it
didn't
did-
make any sense.
I gotta have more cowbell. Like if it was a Chris
More
Walken,
cowbell.
sure, I'd give it to you.
I gotta
God.
have more cowbell.
And I gotta say,
It doesn't even sound like Walter White.
No, it doesn't.
there's 3 Blue Oyster Cult songs that we know, and it's "Burning for You," "Godzilla," and this one you're hearing.
Wait,
now,
Axilla?
"Don't Fear the Reaper."
No.
And "Burning
Oh,
for You" was
sorry.
probably the best one. They played that one probably maybe halfway through their set, and they played Godzilla right into "Don't Fear the Reaper." Godzilla, they had 3 guys on guitar.
They needed
And
like,
they-
You gotta have 3 guys, if
They
not
were
4 or
dude,
5.
and these guys were ripping guitar all night.
you get the guys who will talk. You know what I mean?
There was not a
Sing
lot of
Godzilla.
guitar ripping on this song.
Really? Wow.
I gotta say, I was let down for Godzilla. For all the song for Godzilla and "Don't Fear the Reaper," heavily let down.
Ooh.
For the rest of it, it was kind of as you expect. It was
Cheesy.
some old men, cheesy. It would kind of reminded me of when we saw who opened for Steely Dan. Was it REO Speedwagon? It
No,
was-
that's
no, no,
REO
no.
Speedwagon in Chicago.
Okay, when we saw REO Speedwagon and the guy from REO Speedwagon, like really rock, dude. In between every song, that guy would talk about, like, he'd be like, "Well, back when we were famous, we would play this venue and blah blah blah." And that's kind of what it was like. After every 2 songs or 1 song, they would come on and they would like talk about like, "Oh, back in the day, blah blah blah," and then be like, "There, this is a Tony song."
Back in the day, we used to play in Chicago. Heard it from a friend who.
Yeah.
Heard it from a friend who.
Heard it from another, you've been messing around.
Well, I don't believe it. Not believe it. You want to hear a funny story about the REO Speedwagon guy?
Would you do that if REO Speedwagon was on stage? Would you be like, "Hey, shut up for a second. Do you want to hear it?" No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I apologize. I didn't mean to
I was in a thing, dude. I was
interrupt your. Were you gonna sing the whole song?
yeah for a minute, dude. I was on stage. There was an audience, dude. I had them. They were in the palm of my hand, and then you just interrupted like a fucking rude ass heckler. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
sorry.
No.
I heard it
DJ's
from
been on
another.
Ed's
You've been
case all
messing
day.
around.
On you?
I just heard it from a friend.
So, a funny story about REO
Sorry,
Speedwagon.
DJ.
Well, I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell a story now.
Yeah, tell it. I'm sorry. I fucked that.
No, that's okay.
I had a thing. I went with it.
So he used to be the lead singer for REO Speedwagon. He used to like run a service where they would hook up musicians with bands. So it'd be like, all right, we got these musicians, and like if you need a
You want to
certain-
fuck these bands?
He's like, yeah. He's
Nice.
like, if you need like a band to play with, we'll just hook you up. You're like your band, just call us up. We'll hook you up with whatever position you need. So he was a singer, so he used to just like take all the good bands for himself. So like if he heard a band that he liked, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, we got a singer for you," and then it would just be him, and then he would hook himself up with that. And that's how he got REO Speedwagon.
I can
I like
see
to just.
that.
I always thought that REO Speedwagon was just like it's the initials of 3 kids, that had like a radio flyer that they just pushed down the biggest hill in their neighborhood. They're
Yeah.
like, this is what it's the band be about, guys.
The REO speed.
The REO Speedwagon.
It's a red Speedwagon.
No.
So yeah, overall, our Blue Oyster Cult, it honestly, it was fun. There was no standing allowed. You know,
No
you're-
standing O's?
you're right.
They specifically said, hey, listen, it's going to be great shit. You're going to see. But no standing O's.
It was funny. It was one of those concerts where I was like, I have to be sitting the whole show unless like it's for a standing O, because you there's so many people who are older that you can't stand, because if you stand, you'll just get yelled
See,
at.
Excuse me, young man. Can you sit down? I can't see the show.
This is actually really interesting because I'll say this. All right. When I was a senior in high school, it was my mama's birthday. I'm a good little boy. So she's a big Neil Young fan. So I bought her tickets to go see Neil Young. And we had like balcony seats at the Palace. It was a great show. I'm not going to lie. All right. I was there with Alex Christian, a buddy of mine. And I think his mom was there. And maybe my buddy Ian and his mom. And my mom stood up when Neil Young was playing, and she was the only one standing up. And I was like embarrassed kind of for a minute. And I was like, oh, I'm the parent. My mom is hip and I'm the piece of shit. You know what I mean? Because I was like, she should sit down. This is the least fancy thing she's done. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, she's obstructing the view of other
Oh my
patrons
goodness.
at this
How
here
irresponsible.
venue. But then, like, 4 years ago, I took her to a Steely Daniel concert, and then we all stood and obstructed the view of older people. So it was like, that's my arc. That's my character arc. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
we got spoken to like several times about standing, and eventually got moved. Like, they moved us closer to a spot where
They give
like,
us a better seat. They were like, here, you're blocking really, really rich people, and they're really upset, and they donate a lot of money to Saratoga Performing Arts Center. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you better seats, and you just stand
Okay.
over here.
Yeah,
All right.
it was funny
Only
because
half of us had tickets.
I was with my girlfriend and her family, and I was like, it's kind of weird, like, you know, like we can't stand at this show. Like, I already knew it ahead of time, and she was like, do you like, I'm gonna go ask. And she went and asked somebody, and they were like, no, you have to sit while you're in the seats. And I was like, you can probably only stand if you're up at the top like railing, which is honestly at the Egg. You know, the Egg can only seat it's a little less than 1,000 people.
What I thought it was like 1,500 or something.
No, we asked. They said it was like 900 something seats.
See, if you give it a Goog, that says way higher for some reason. I think there are 2 theaters at the Egg. I'm not sure.
Could be.
There is.
What is it?
There's a smaller theater, I think.
All right, is the smaller one the 900 one?
No, the Egg is 900.
Wild.
It's like it's like just under 1,000 seats.
That's crazy because I thought it was like 1,200 or something like that. I saw like a few comedy shows there. I saw Louis C.K. there twice. It's fucking awesome.
We saw
But I
Chris
didn't-
D'Elia there.
Yeah. And like I thought it was like definitely more, I guess. I don't know, the Egg, I guess when you roll up to it, because it's just so much building, you think, and maybe it's just because it carries so much weight in the Albany skyline. I have no clue. But when you roll up to there, you're like, no way they built this shit for just 900 people.
Look,
Yeah.
it is like, it's confusing as fuck, because even just like going there, like
It's kind of annoying. if I'm
going
being-
there to, yeah, it is annoying, because like going there to park, like you know, like I had to pay $10 to park because there's nowhere else to fucking park.
State
that's,
Street,
like,
Daddy-o.
yeah, it's weird. And so like I parked there, and then like when we were coming back, because going the whole way there was kind of easy, you just kind of followed like the crowd, and it's, you know, like, all right, we're all going to the same place. But when you're leaving, everyone's going different directions, and like you never know who you're following. And so like we just ended up getting on this elevator, and we're like, all right, like what floor do we get off of? Like we don't know, like we weren't the one who hit the
Usually
elevator
they
button
have
before.
an attendant. Yeah, 100% of the time.
And so
I've
like
been in there,
we-
attendant pushes the button.
like we get off this one parking floor, and like we walk out, and like the people I'm with are like, Yeah, this is the floor. And my girlfriend's like, where, like, they didn't, like, where are the parking machines that were here before? And they're like, oh, they took the machines away. And I'm like,
Everybody parked.
I'm like, bro,
We don't
this
need
is.
them
I'm
anymore.
like, this is not the same parking garage. I'm like, this is definitely different. And then like, they're like, all
They
right,
took the machine away.
they're like, all right, we'll see you guys later. And I'm like, start walking, and I'm like, yeah, I have to go back to the elevator. Like, this is not the right parking garage. Like, I start going back, and I see them coming back, and they're like, oh yeah, this is not right.
Man,
Dude, I had a similar thing
sounds like a
happen.
mess.
Anytime I go to the egg, I get really pissed off. I'm not the person parking, because if you park in the garage, I get pissed because you paid money. If you park on like State Street and it's like not right there, I'm like, what the fuck? There's definitely better spots up there. You know what I mean? So like this one time I was going, I think it was the time I was going to see Louis. The last minute, a friend of mine was just like, hey, I got an extra ticket to see Louis. Do you want to go? I go, fuck yeah. And I go, and like he works like far up like by like Lark and what is it, West or Washington, Lark and Washington,
Mm-hmm.
like where that library is. Like he's like 2 buildings over, and he was just like, I'm gonna park in my work slot. It's gonna be fun. And like Corey, like what the fuck are we doing?
He thought it was going to be fun to
This is-
park.
No. Well, he thought like, oh, I got good parking right near the egg, and it's like a mile walk, dude. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? We don't have to walk 10 minutes. They're like, we're walking on our way to the egg, and we passed probably in this time just like 30 spots on the street, just like on the main drags in Albany. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why the fuck did we park so far away? And keep in mind, it's like December, so I'm like kind of pissed. This guy gave me like a ticket. I don't even
But you're
remember
like-
paying him.
Yeah,
But I'm like, come on, what are we doing? Like, if I was behind the wheel, we'd be on State Street. We're talking about maybe like I don't even know what is it, 100 meter, 200 meter dash. To the goddamn egg. I don't know, man.
Instead, you're doing the 4-man relay.
But it's just me, just carrying tickets.
Yeah.
Look at the goddamn scanners there. I don't know. I get super. It was actually really funny because, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's totally wrong that people who don't have a Vax card were getting turned away. But it was so funny because I can read. I read like when the ticket thing was up there. It said like, "Hey, bring your Vax card. Only vaccinated people allowed in. Whatever." So I had it in my coat pocket. It was a Vax card that went through the wash. All right. So it was in a bunch of pieces in a Ziploc bag, and I
So it's
brought
very
it
clean.
super clean,
Yeah,
super
very clean.
deteriorated. It was like 3 different pieces, and I bring it to the guy. And I'm like, it went through the wash. I don't know what to do. It's not like a real legal document anyway, but here it is. He's just like, that's funny. Go ahead. You just got to show them anything, really. They don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be funny. I wonder what the minimum you could get away with. Like, could
Probably
you
one piece, and it has to say at least your first name.
bring like an old business card that you put through, like you kind of tattered, like put it in the dryer for a little bit, and be like, "Yeah, this is my Vax card."
Well, I had like
So you can say
okay.
your name on it.
This is the thing. So on my Vax card, they had a thing that they put like the specific Pfizer dose or whatever that I got. They were like, "Oh, this is batch da 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 on this day." Am I fucking boring you?
DJ.
Like, can you not yawn like fucking at like 50 decibels, dude? Just no, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. You're a good man.
you.
Basically, they print out this label, so even though it went through the wash and like the business card part of it deteriorated, the thing that said Pfizer, and like I had a piece of the business card thing that said my name, and then I had a piece of label that said Pfizer. So it's just like, go ahead and try. Like, I will make this a fucking civil rights matter if you don't let me in, because I have all the necessary documentation. You are not going to scarlet letter me here, sir. All right. This is not a goddamn fucking Steven Spielberg film. I am getting into this comedy show. I don't know.
But
We
you
got,
made it. You made it.
yeah, we made it.
Okay, good.
He thought it was funny too that it was such a piece of shit. We got Paul in the chat. Paul says George Bush does not care about black people.
Oh, we've heard that before.
I thought, isn't his dog? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Paul always chiming in.
Trying.
Great
got
to hear
the-
from you.
Got the good contributions.
Paul's always trying to get us canceled. That's what I feel like. It's cancel bait.
Paul Ye West.
I have kind of a discovery. Well,
What'd you discover?
Oh, interesting.
so I was out of weed one day, and I wasn't going back to my house, and I needed to pick up some weed, and so I had recently driven past a store that I had seen with bright green letters, and it was late, and I saw.
This is
thought to
just a
myself-
no-go.
I thought to myself, wow, that place sells weed. And so I looked it up and it was CBD stuff. And they said they sold a bunch of CBD products. You know, just the other day, I didn't have weed and I was going by and I was like, I'm going to stop into this place. I'm going to see what it's all about. I'm going to see what the CBD thing is.
Interesting.
So I go in. It's called Brownies. It's on
Brownies.
It's on Central Ave.
I've driven past that place many a time.
Yes.
Did you get the 420 special?
No.
So I went in there and I got 3 grams of weed. I was depressed that it was not 3.5. I got 3 grams of weed for $50 and it was CBD weed.
Interesting.
And I was like, it's a little bit, it's a little bit, I wanted to pay for it. And I'm going to, I don't even know if this weed's going to get me high. I went there. I asked for a pre-roll. They didn't have one. I asked for a gram of weed. They said they only sold 3
How about
grams.
3 grams for 50? You won't get high.
I got high.
Really? CBD gets you high?
Discovery.
I don't think I know what CBD weed is because I smoked a bowl of that and then I was like standing in the shower and I was like laughing to myself and I was like, this shit, I'm fucking high as fuck. And I was like, dude, this is like, how are you going to say this shit doesn't get you high? I'm high as fuck.
Maybe they like saw you when you went in. They're like, oh yeah, we got this guy in the CBD weed, quote unquote.
Dude,
How long is
that's,
this ponytail?
honestly, like,
foot?
that's kind of what I was thinking.
He's got a foot of hair. All right, yeah, give him a good shit.
Yeah.
And they also gave me a THC brownie.
What? That's like the opposite of CBD. That's like the fucking
Well,
THC.
it was weird because I bought the weed and she was like, hold on, give me 1 second. And I was like, all right. And then she walked into a back room and then came out. She was like, here's your complimentary THC brownie. And I was like,
Wow.
Did you eat the brownie before smoking?
I'm gonna eat the brownie tonight.
That's sick.
So I've been like, I've had like, I did have weed, but like just I was like, if I like, this is going to be like all my weed. I've been like splitting weed between places right now. So I've still been smoking some of the CBD weed and it's still getting me high. And I'm like, this shit gets you high, bro.
Okay, but does it get you higher than cheaper weed?
No, it doesn't. It's not. I'm not saying it's like the best weed I've ever
Like, should I
smoked.
stop buying weed from my current person?
No.
Go to the store and buy high
I'm
market.
still saying get the best weed for your money, but I'm just saying that like this weed that I went and bought at the store that I didn't feel at all like. I'm literally at the Wendy's drive-through, like holding the bottle up, like I just bought this shit at the store, like smelling it, and I'm like, is this gonna get? Like, this was before I
Is
smoked
that-
it.
is that
I'm like,
like-
is this gonna get me high?
That's kind of like when you're at like a Chicago rest stop and somebody's just like, I got these mushrooms. Do you have any money? I need gas money. And then you eat the mushrooms and you're like, well, that's fake. And then you eat the
The
other
portobellos.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
It was all real.
But
Way
no,
too real.
dude, man, I gotta say, shout out to Brownies for selling. I have to assume that all
Brownie
weed,
trapping the block. Excuse me.
I have to say that all weed, I'm like smoking it, like, yeah, of course it gets me high. Like, it's fucking weed. Like, all weed has like There's no way they just made this weed. Oh yeah, this weed doesn't get you high, bro. No, brother, you smoke that shit, it gets you stoned.
They just had shitty weed, and they were like, "Okay, let's sell it. Save more money than the regular weed for the microdosers."
Like, yeah, I'm not gonna say it's, dude. It's not it. You know, it's not the fucking. It's not the best weed that I've ever smoked, but I'm just saying.
It's store-bought mids. That's what you're buying, right?
It you know, it's funny that you say that because like I smelled it, I was like, man, it tells me like I'm so compared to like I'm so used to just like good weed, so like I smell it and I'm like, it doesn't, it's definitely not like great weed,
Hey, you smelled the Delta.
but you smoke it and you're
Yeah.
like,
She who denied it supplied it.
you smoke and you're like, when I needed it, you were there.
I like the discovery segment. We should do one of those a week. Someone has to have a discovery.
Dude, it was big. for me.
Discovery.
I'm probably not
you're
going to go
saying-
back there for a long time because I just don't need to. But I got to say, for you guys in the area, that's just if you're hesitant about weed or something about it, there's a store you can just go and buy it.
My mom was hesitant,
And they say it doesn't get you high, but if you smoke it,
gets you
pretty high. It's pretty funny when you're sitting there and you're like, wow, they said this doesn't get you high, but I'm feeling like I'm pretty high.
I got my
You know
mom
when your mouth is getting dry?
pretty high.
Pretty high.
I got my mom pretty high, but it was like CBD weed, and it was still really funny to see like an older, not stoner, get high on.
Was she
CBD
eating a
weed.
lot of Tito's?
No, she was like, I can't move, and she just kind of sat there, and I was like, you should probably smoke a cigarette, like chill out.
Relax a little.
And she did, and then I forget what else. I don't know. It was like a Christmas like 3 years back. It was really funny though. And she hasn't smoked since. But like part of me like you should just smoke. It's probably pretty fun. You know, you just got to get over those initial couple like, oh, this is weird. And then that's your bread and butter. You're having
then
fun.
you're in business.
Your business.
Mouth is getting dry.
You're pretty high.
Pretty high.
And I had to tell that landlady,
Wham, 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 wham.
I got a job. I'm gonna pay the rent.
Yes, come to be daddy.
Guys, I took the root beer challenge last night. I forgot to tell you.
What the fuck is the root beer challenge?
I took I went over to a friend's house to watch some UFC, some Ultimate Fighting Challenge, and
She's Jim's problem now.
yes. And
sorry.
if you're
Am I-
wondering
am
what
I-
all the commotion
Am I
is,
disturbing you?
there's a Dottie has joined the pod. But yeah, I went to watch the Ultimate Fighting Challenge at a friend's house last night, and
Is it challenge?
or championship?
It's championship.
Oh, interesting. Ultimate
Sorry.
Fighting Championship, UFC. That's actually a good clarification. I would have been.
I think anyway. Somebody correct me.
God.
Make me look like a
Yeah.
asshole. Like I just made myself look like. Sorry, go ahead.
And what we did is my friend got the three big brands, the A&W, the Mug, and the Barks Root Beer. And we all poured ourselves a little taste and then mixed our cups up.
Ooh.
And decided if we could tell which one was which one was our favorite,
That's-
and ranked them on a scale of 1 to
Now,
10.
had you tried them before? I know that you've had them all, in your life.
Right,
but
of course.
Had you separate, had you tasted them all before?
Which one did you think was your favorite? I guess.
So going in blind, I thought I was a Mug man. I could have told you I've been like, yeah, I'm Mug guy. I'm born and bred Mug man. I'm gonna continue to be a Mug man for the rest of my life. And then going in, tasting them, I was pretty confident on which was which, but man, was I wrong.
All right. So there's a triple blind, right? Because there are 3
Yes, triple blind.
triple blind taste test. Mug, Barks, and what?
A&W.
A&W. Who came out on top?
Pretty resoundingly, the Barks came out on top.
Do you know why, DJ?
Why?
Because Barks has bite.
Barks does have bite. I got to tell you, Barks does have bite.
It's the caffeine. It makes it go pop, pop, pop. On
It,
your tongue, Georgie.
I could have sworn Barks would have been my least favorite. It was my most favorite. And 3 out of the 4 of us picked Barks as our favorite in a triple blind. So
3 out of 4 douchebags select Barks. Over the top, leading brands of root beer. All right, who came in second?
Came in second. For me, it was, I believe, A&W. I liked Mug the least, actually.
So this whole time you were programmed by Mugs.
That's right.
Multi-layer
That was
meaning.
Big Pepsi.
By that bulldog on the cover being like, man, I like that.
Hey, Christians love Mugs.
But yeah, Barks pretty resoundingly came out on top.
What's
Wow.
your favorite ginger ale?
It's got to be the Schweppes.
Big Schweppes
Really?
guy.
So I
No, I actually think a Canada Dry is probably my favorite.
to be honest, so I'd be interested to do this with ginger ale because I get
This
the
is
Adirondack ginger ales.
Adirondacks are really good. I like off brands, but I didn't know if the listeners would know about the off brands.
So I get the Adirondacks because they're exactly the same amount as the Canada Dries for a 12 pack.
Have you ever
the
had,
craft ginger ale.
have you had the Saranac ginger ale?
I don't think I have.
It's pretty solid.
Saranac root beer.
Yeah. Also, I like the store like Price Chopper or Hannaford brand ginger ale. Kinda
Interesting.
solid too.
Are they?
I mean,
Dude, I would like to do a taste test with those because I drink a lot of ginger ale.
We run that next week. The blind ginger ale taste test.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I think we have
okay.
to. Guys, tune in next week for the definitive best ginger ale of all
The
time.
answer.
Yeah, ginger ale. We were also talking about we did the 3 big brands for root beer, but then we were thinking about doing some craft root beer, some Stewart's, some IBCs.
Is Stewart's Craft?
I don't know if they're craft.
Are we talking Stewart's like
But,
Stewart's the bottling company or Stewart's the gas
dude, if
station?
you
The bottling company.
they're different.
Yes.
I believe they are. I believe Stewart's Bottling Company is a nationwide chain, as where the gas stations are a Northeast regional shindig.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. But
Same,
yeah,
same, but different.
exactly. Same, but different. And if you guys have any other requests for taste tests,
We'll eat that shit. We'll drink that shit.
yeah, let us know.
Everybody but DJ will smoke that shit.
And we'll drink that shit.
Ow, I pulled the neck
You
of my
know.
fucking muscle.
TJ might not drink it if it's beer at the movie theater.
Especially if it's a Genesee specialty cream ale.
A Jenny Cream. How was the Jenny Cream?
Dude, it was
You'd
great.
know if you had one of the 12.
It was great.
those
All
bars.
6 of them went down spectacularly.
So would you be if we did a triple blind cream ale taste test, Genesee versus other cream ales?
Are there other cream ales?
I do not know. That could very well be the only one. But if say I did find other cream ales, do you think you'd be able to tell the difference?
No.
Do you know why, DJ?
I don't drink
Why?
enough beer.
The cream ale is all beers had at good events. All right? It doesn't matter. It's not the beverage that you drink. It's the people you drink it with.
It's the drink.
And where the
inside
fuck you are.
It's the drink that chose you.
beverage.
I didn't choose a Genesee specialty cream ale.
It chose you
It chose me.
$10.99.
because of
Less.
its unbeatable price point.
They just had a 30 rack of this in the back of their thing, and they're like, "Yeah, what? We'll do 6 for $5." I was
This
like,
beer is 60 years old.
You were like, I'm going to
"Give
see
me
a
12."
I'm going to see a 2-hour movie. I need at least 12 beers. What do you have
We
in
didn't-
stack right now?
DJ,
Hold on.
we didn't
What you're not
need
telling them
12
is that there's
beers.
three, count them, 3 adults who I, at least anyway, count as championship drinkers.
Ed and I only needed 3 beers. But what
We only
got-
needed 3. But just in case, I bought 4 for all 3 of us.
Well, I have to extend, even though I didn't have any. Thank you for being prepared, just in case.
You're
We
welcome.
were more than prepared.
DJ was ashamed to be there with us. Is how it felt.
It was it. I was like cracking up through the movie, thinking like, "Wow, we are absolutely the loudest people here because we just keep cracking beers and eating popcorn through this whole thing."
You can't get mad about the popcorn though. Popcorn.
They sell it.
movies-
They sell it.
Yeah, that's like half the game. They're not really even movie people.
And the
They're
beer
popcorn
crack-
people.
The beer crack, you know, as long as you time it right, you time it with when the moment feels right.
Yeah, I don't know. You're good about doing it like a band-aid. I drew it out like it was a fucking event. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, I fucking cracked. I'm done with it. I don't fucking do the. I just should have. I try to get it done with.
Yeah, they.
It's a little bit louder.
I will
Yeah,
have to say that it's a. It was a funny feeling when you you walk into a movie and the first one is about a guy trying to sing karaoke for his wife dying, and then just in the middle of the silence you hear a good.
Yeah,
And then in the next one, a little person is trying to find love in an increasingly discriminatory society, and then you just hear a nice little.
it's so good because we always. It seems like every Oscar short we always have beers, and they're always so quiet. And we really do, like DJ said, find the best times where it's so silent, and all you hear is.
Or it's like this guy in prison for a crime he doesn't understand he committed, and he's just arrested and denied any proper due process, and he's being treated very unfairly. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of silence, you just hear like a nice little.
So good.
You know what he could have used?
A nice. Or like maybe you're just randomly hanging out with you and a bunch of your Bengali friends, and you're just like inside a random like suburban house, and you're all making like fun little things and moving chairs about through the house, and then you do a nice little rap, and you and your family are being executed, and you hear a nice little.
Okay, so we just ran you through some of the Oscar shorts.
Yeah, we so
But
I have
wait,
to admit we're experts on the Oscar shorts, and
This is-
we've seen this a few years in a row now.
We have. This is like 3 or 4 years in a row for me now.
A bit of a weaker year.
this is
it
a super
was,
weird
since
year
it's-
because
everyone.
there's this one time, I think it was the last movie, right? And this random this woman in a I can only imagine is a Asian country is hanging out, and she's just working at a bakery, and she gets kidnapped and forced into a marriage that she doesn't want to be in,
This
and her
is the new
family
one.
supports it. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're just out, you hear this random little like, and you're like, "What's going on?" No, I don't know. I think that's all of them, right? Did we get them all?
I think we did describe all of them.
But you know, I gotta say, for this year's, I really none of them.
Every single one, I looked over at Jim, I whispered in his ear, and I said, "You know what? I can make a better movie than this."
Which
And then
I'm,
you heard this little.
which I'm not
Little late
gonna
on that
lie.
one.
You know,
There we go.
that is something that I've probably seen out of the past 3 to 4 years, probably 15 to 20 Oscar shorts. And out of most of them, Ed does lean in my ear and say, "We could make a better movie."
Well, dude, all you need is something miserable, something completely miserable, and then a bunch of douchebags, like 3 of them, are gonna walk in, and then you're just gonna hear for a second, and you're gonna hear.
You know, I don't know what it is though. Like the one year, and I'm like, I think it was the year that like Stranger Things came out, or the year after Stranger Things came out. But there was one year where the Oscar shorts, every one of them had to do with like stories with like kids, and all of them were very relatable and were really good.
Mhm.
And that year was super strong. Like we saw them, I think it was Josh and I that saw them, and we're like, damn, these were all really good. And that's what got hooked me on the Oscar shorts to begin with.
Dude, you know what? I would go even a little bit further, and I'll say we're gonna bring 18 beers to the next one, and it's going to be the animated shorts, and you're going to be hearing a really depressing story, and all of a sudden, in random silence, you're just going to hear
Yeah, Wi-Fi took a little bit on that.
Yeah,
one.
a little
like
wiki.
maybe next week, if next week the animated shorts are playing, maybe we should see those, see if those were better. This dude, the live action ones,
See, generally they're not all the most depressing thing in the world. Some of them are like there's some depressing, some of them are like kind of like intense or like kind of scary, or there's one that's like, but pretty much all of them today were pretty big bummers.
It's the worst thing in the world. I'm like, all right, I'm going. Listen, I know at 5 Oscar shorts, I'm sure I'm going to leave feeling good from one of them. That's how I just feel in all aspects of life. Hey, you know, like 20% of the time, it's not going to be that bad.
Yeah,
Wrong. Fucking wrong. All right? You're in prison for no reason. Your wife's dying for no reason. You're fucking your family's being killed for no reason. You're being fucking married for no reason. Dude, it's just all I don't feel good leaving that shit.
that was perfect. that was the summary of all of them.
yeah. I mean, to be
It's really
fair,
shitty from the other side, if I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, I was enjoying what was happening, and then all of a sudden I just heard a little fucking weird sound. And I was like,
You know, like all of those movies, you know, it's like nothing a beer can't fix. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's why everybody was jealous. See, like, I also, one of the sweet nothings I whispered into Jim's ear was like, I wish I could just be like, we got a bunch of beers if anybody wants.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta say
that's funny.
the best part of the Oscar shorts was when the lights turned on and Ed and I stood up and we each had 4 to 5 beers in it. Like we had.
And we walked by and this lady was just like, it was hard to fucking enjoy the movie with all the fucking
all the
pops.
So someone said that?
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
No.
She was like, it was hard to enjoy the movie with all that.
You know what? Fuck that lady. Because it was the only way to enjoy those movies. Because
You know what, Jim? When it boils down to it, she doesn't remember what it's like to stand up at the fucking show.
she doesn't know what it's like to see Steely Dan and enjoy it anymore.
You want to know why? Because the average age of the person in that movie theater, other than us, was 77 years old.
You're very the second dude. We walked into that theater laughing because you know Ed had just dropped that beer,
3 times.
and
Oh, boy.
when the second we walked in, I thought, "Oh wow, there's a bunch of really old people in here, and we're about to crack open some beers."
I don't
Oh
know.
boy.
Yeah, it was a good time.
But yeah, Oscar shorts not as good
A little
this year.
acting.
Do you think maybe you can come join the children and have a beer next time, DJ? Or are you doing AA or something?
No, I'm not doing
You
AA.
got a big day today on the Lord's Day.
I mean, I am going to see my mom.
I heard it was. I heard it was Ash Wednesday. Was
Hey,
that a-
wait, this is
And today is Ash Wednesday.
Was it Palm Sunday?
No.
Wait, what day is today? You said today's Ash Wednesday. It's not Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Sunday. It's not Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday was on
Ash
Wednesday.
Wednesday was
Wait,
last
did you-
Wednesday.
Did you go get Ash on Wednesday?
No, I didn't.
I'm telling Mom. Did your mom get Ash? I bet she did.
Probably.
Okay. If I were to hit Rosemary up right now and was like, yo, you get Ashes on Wednesday, she'd be like,
I gotta tell you guys, I was letting that dog out the other day, and well, I was like helping an owner out, and I saw a pair of sunglasses that were out on the lawn, and I was walking back, and I was like, I'm gonna grab those sunglasses, and so I did, and I cleaned them off, and then throughout that entire day, whenever someone would ask me a question, I would put on the glasses and go, yeah.
Oh, sorry. This came on too loud.
No, it was all good. That was perfect.
that's exactly how it happened to Jim.
That's yeah, it is. I would put on the glasses, ZZ Top would start playing, and I would go, hell yeah.
Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses.
Oh
And now I have those sunglasses in my locker and I keep them on me throughout the day. And sporadically through the week, when people ask me questions, I'll put them on and say, hell yeah.
And then you pull them off.
And then I take them off and I put them away for another couple hours until I find the appropriate time.
The best thing for glasses, dude. There's 3 power plays, all right? You have the what?
Yep.
Then you have the huh?
yeah, you
Yeah.
take them on.
Then you have the really?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Those are the 3 best ones.
Sorry, Daddy.
But I only use them for the one.
Well, I mean, you got sunglasses.
Just the put on.
Sunglasses is a different game.
I just put
Because
them
regular
on.
glasses, you can do those moves, and then there's different moves for sunglasses. Sunglasses is when you say something like cryptic and
Exactly. Is CSI starting?
Yep.
yeah,
And you're in Miami.
exactly. You make some sort of pun every time you're leaving. Looks like he wasn't so hot for you. I don't know. I just ride like the wind. Then you just put your sunglasses
Looks
on
like-
and walk away.
She got fooled again. It's always Who songs.
Yeah.
Any CSI,
They
they're
love
like,
the Who.
How about the Who?
Nobody knows what it's like
To be a pedophile. It's not me. It's the guy from the Who. Look into that.
Yeah, he is.
Pete Townsend.
Yeah,
He was doing
He was
research.
doing a lot of research on kids' buttholes. Apparently, what he did. Yeah. No.
If I had that queued up, I'd play it right now. Instead, we're just gonna have to go with the good old. That's right, baby.
Oh.
It was better when it was louder. I turned it down because ZZ Top came in too hot. But those old people were really upset at the theater anytime that we would just like go ahead and just.
Crack the
You know, I have to say,
9th beer of the day.
There's actually 10.
any
Yes,
show I've ever been to that is predominantly old people, I seem to have kind of a bad time.
What? No, I always have a way better time, to be honest. Because
but
I
it's
appreciate
a-
the contrast. It's like one of those classic tropes, and like.
you're right. It is. It's
just
one
like,
of the. It's like
yeah, it's like
it's
a
like a
Footloose
hate love
moment.
relationship. You know, it's like
Oh, you're so stereotypical, Rosemary. How about this?
You know what you should have done right when the it all ended short. Let's hear it for the Oscar shorts, and then stood up and just shook up a beer and
Well, hold
sprayed
on.
it all over
You're
the
gonna
crowd.
pretend like you didn't try to start a
yeah.
slow-
I
a slow
love
clap?
I love how we saw 5 depressing videos and then you tried to start a slow clap. At the
Like,
end.
who's really the problem here?
At every movie.
The 10 beers, or the person starting a slow clap after this woman just fucking.
I wish that lady when we
Escape
stood up was just like, I wish I could have enjoyed that movie, but that guy trying to start the slow clap.
See,
Yeah, she mentions the fucking soda can pops.
at the end of every movie,
Yeah, it was
you
a
have to give
Sprite.
it one clap to see if everybody else starts clapping. So that way
Yeah,
you can
you're
say,
just
"I
like-
started. That was
No.
me."
You're just like that asshole on the flights who, like, it is not like somebody doing their 9 to 5 job is not clap worthy. All right. It's not clap worthy. I don't care if you're fucking moving goddamn trash. I don't care if you're flying planes. I don't care if you're fucking doing like armed service shit. All right. People doing their 9 to 5 is not clap worthy. Do not clap at the end of the plane. Do not clap at the end of the movie. Maybe like
When-
a show.
When do you
I do
clap?
do that also,
when do you
though.
clap at the end of a plane?
I don't know. I've been on like 6 planes that it happened at, and each time I'm like, do you guys understand how much we just got fucked? This plane was going there either way.
I think when Sully lands it on the water,
Yeah,
that's
like-
when you give
That's
it-
the
like,
only time
how
you clap
far,
is if
how
they
far do
save your
you
life.
take it? Like when's it appropriate? Like
All right, okay. If you're
like
crash
like
landing,
is it like when your life is saved you clap? And then even then is like is a clap is it enough?
isn't your life always saved if they land the plane though?
True.
Yeah,
That's
I guess
why they
it-
clap.
so. Every
But is
flight-
it-
so
but-
now you're proving our point. Every flight deserves a round of applause. Your life is saved every flight.
It's kind of a matter of like,
Why don't we clap when the bus gets there? safely?
does that pilot
Same
have a
energy.
death wish?
I mean, I don't know.
When the train gets
Maybe we
there, why
should.
don't we fucking parade the goddamn conductor around like Rudy, just because you did your fucking 9 to 5. If you're gonna celebrate these assholes just for going like this, I'm like, oh, how about autopilot? And then they go get a fucking handy from the goddamn flight attendant. Like, you think this is? I know that it's like a bar back there. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? We're all animals. You didn't do anything different than me filing my documents, scanning my papers.
Even operating the miracle flight.
I mean, it's pretty impressive, but it's like it's really like a video game when you look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
There's 2 of them. Like, how much pressure could you really have if you know somebody's always got your back? You could sleep through a flight.
That's true. I mean, you're right. It's like a video game. I like my pilots to look like 12-year-olds that would have killed me 4 times in Call of Duty.
You know what? They'd probably be pretty good. You ever see this show,
Probably.
The Good Doctor?
No.
It's terrible.
Actually, I think my mom watches it.
Yeah, my mom does too.
I know she does. If my mom
My
watches
mom's-
it, your mom watches it.
Yeah, my mom's like, oh my God, he has autism and he does surgeries. And it's just like, yeah, Mom, that happens.
You got to come over at Tuesdays at 9 and watch it with me.
Nope, Becky fucked up that surgery. I was just.
There we go.
Took a second on that one. Shout out to the bikers coming by.
Hey,
Man,
it's the
bikers
first
coming to
60-degree day of the season. We ready?
That's right.
Yo,
Ready to
it
go
is.
ride.
What do you guys want for this spring? What are you gonna?
You know, I gotta make sure.
Is this the Polish bicycle mentioned in episode 96?
No. So this is the new bike. This is the priority.
Is this an
Do
electric?
you know
bicycle?
exactly which was that the actual episode?
It's pretty close.
It's close.
It's between.
I'm
90
very
or
impressed
96.
right now. If it was, if we
DJ, I'm
look back
sorry.
at it
I
actually-
know the history of the
Yeah,
pod.
come on, DJ. Come on,
I'm sorry for not knowing.
Yeah, I'm just fucking
producer here.
I'm just
all right?
captaining this ship. All right, I'm just driving around. Just get. What did you say earlier that made me feel bad?
I don't know. There's so many things.
Yeah.
It was like you were roasting me for drinking mad beers during the Oscar shorts. And it's just like, oh, I'm just the captain of the pod or something. What was it? What was it?
Oh,
You said something really funny. I'm sorry, I wouldn't bring it up. I'm not. A
no.
douchebag.
That's okay. We got to remember the exact scenario because you said something like that.
I knew that the dog had to pee.
You were like, you should be thanking me for for this or something to that effect.
You're making me sound like a real douchebag here.
And then I said
You feel
something.
good, big man?
I'm just trying to recall
No,
the
no,
scenario.
what
That's
was
all.
it?
That's all I'm trying to do. And then I said something to the effect of, "You should be thanking of me for having somebody be able to steer the ship after this."
I can do it. No, it's a co-pilot thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm going to be drunk. Sometimes I'm going to be cracking beers during the Oscar shorts.
I mean, hey, like look at the movie Flight. That guy was drinking those little nip bottles
okay,
of
listen.
vodka, landing planes upside down. It's amazing.
Did you see Sully? Same
I
thing.
did not know.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, the Denzel thing that you just mentioned. Same exact thing. He had a co-pilot the whole time. He was like, you know what? I'm hammered. I did a little bit of blow, but I'm going to land this thing upside down, and everybody's going to get laid after.
So yes, I want to ride my bike this spring. What do you guys want to do?
I'm thinking maybe, I want to get like one of those e-bikes or mopeds.
Dude, I'm getting this payout. I'm getting these payouts for this fucking thing. I want to get an e-bike so
Let's
bad.
all get e-bikes. Can we
Dude,
get
I-
e-bikes?
Let's
Yo,
do it.
if you guys give because I don't have a reason. I have this new bike. I'm like, I take the priority fucking everywhere I have to go. You know, I don't need an e-bike, but if you guys give me a reason to get it, we'll go in a fucking second.
Dude, we should
Oh,
get
this is
hammered and
bad.
just ride e-bikes
Oh
around.
my god,
sounds
dude, I
fun.
want one so bad.
What are they going to do? We can't kill anybody except ourselves.
Well, I guess that's not true. I mean,
What?
Bro,
What are
I
you
will
gonna
kill myself on an e-bike.
Pedestrians?
That shit sounds so much fun.
DJ, no.
I'm not gonna kill
None of
him.
this
I don't
happens.
want to kill a pedestrian.
Have you ever heard
on
of
my
somebody
e-bike.
dying from a fucking bike accident?
Yes.
Only the cyclist.
Yeah, the cyclist.
It's never the pedestrian.
The pedestrians don't die, DJ.
They're like, oh, that's a terrible
The
tragedy.
pedestrian gets out of the way.
It's a terrible tragedy that man couldn't afford a car. That's usually what they say.
They feel bad for the guy on the bike.
They're just like, well, obviously we're not going to sue him. He was riding a bike around. Clearly didn't have a goddamn Maserati.
It's the city's fault.
Yeah, just be so much space in those goddamn bike lanes.
Oh yeah, I mean e-bikes are a good spring activity.
I can tell you're out. It's fine. You don't got to patronize us.
no,
Jim and I are
No.
getting bikes.
no,
You want to get a bike?
yeah, we'll do an e-bike.
What you can get?
You can get a mongoose. A mongoose
A
e-bike.
mongoose with some batteries in the basket, like a little bitch.
Yeah.
It's not an e-bike, DJ. You need at least
Yo,
a razor to run with the big
honestly-
dogs.
Honestly, bro, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be the one to go there. If I'm going to go there, you're going to need an e-bike with the price of gas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because
Bro, I
goddamn
went there.
President Joe Byron.
Yo, honestly, every time I go to the gas pump, I think of that Dave Chappelle thing. I'm just like, man, Biden fucking up.
Yo, okay, there's this Sunoco by DJ's house, and like if you go fill up at the Sunoco by DJ's house, there's a bunch of fucking pictures of President Joe Biden pointing at the price of gas, and he's just like, I did that. I know you've
Really?
seen them. You haven't seen them?
No, well, I'm a
You know the
Scoots fan.
Sunoco I'm talking about.
I do know the Sunoco you're talking about. I was delivering for the Big A
Bezo.
for Bezo, and I had to get some gas, and I stopped at a gas station around the corner from the I was picking my packages up. And there's two gas stations right across the street from each other. One, the gas cost $4.19. And the one across the street from it, the gas cost $4.48. It was a 30-cent disparity
Wow.
between two right across the street from each
Okay,
other.
what were the brands?
One was the Sunoco and the other one was a Mobile.
Sunoco was the cheaper one, right?
It was the cheaper one, yes.
Yo,
Mobile is owned by the goddamn Russian oligarchs and their
Yo.
goddamn super yachts.
I'm not going to lie. I don't care how cheap this makes me sound. But I was driving someone else's car, and I had to bring it back to them before I filled up. And they lived in Schenectady. And so I filled it up in Watervliet so I wouldn't have to pay for the drive to Schenectady.
Wow. There you go.
What's the play?
That is the play.
It's
Dude,
like when you
Gas,
rent.
if gas wasn't so expensive, I would do it when I was there.
Yeah, I hear you.
Dude, all right. There's this petrol station right across the street from my Walmart on 9W in Glenmont. And it's the cheapest gas I've ever encountered. It's cash only. That's the only thing. So, like, you just make a plan.
Yeah.
You go there. It's
Yes.
always 10 or 15 cents cheaper than the leading Stewart's, Cumbies, fucking
Yep.
Speedway, whatever. But I love that gas station. And I mean, I don't go there enough, but in times like these, I go for it. You know what I mean? Because there's another website. It's gasbuddy.com, I think, or
Ooh.
albanygasprices.com. And that'll bring you to the Gas Buddy site. And you can save 20 cents per gallon, which is an average of like $3 per fill up.
Wow.
Dude, I
That's
went,
thousands of dollars a year.
I
Possibly
got,
tens of thousands.
it's been crazy. I went and got gas and it was like $3.89. And then the next, like literally the next day I went because I was driving a different car and had to get gas. And it was like fucking $4.20. And I was like, bro, I just got gas yesterday. It was 30
jumped
cents
up.
cheaper.
A lot in one day.
Goddamn President Joe Byron.
Yeah.
That Biden fucking up.
No. Maybe he's glad I'm here pooping, fucking up.
Yeah. How would you run on time? About time to wrap her up.
Well, guys, this has been an eventful one.
I've had a great time. All right. Personally, I think that we should redo this next week. And I think the DJ should goddamn take beverage drinking in the weight room.
Everybody, thank you for listening. This has been a broadcast of the Butt Stuff Podcast. Check us out on Instagram, where you can click on our link tree in our bio and find our links to everything else. we appreciate you listening every week. And if you would like to become a part of the podcast, interact with us, hit us up on Instagram
Or
This is-
YouTube.
This
or
is
YouTube.
a sponsor of the Proud Genesee Cream.
Specialty
Ale.
cream ale. Perfect for any event where cracking a beer will ruin the ambiance.
Very true.
We'll see you next week here. Fuck off. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you.
What stuff?
Thank you for listening.